Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I'm glad 2020 is over. So I have a Vinegar Syndrome unboxing from the Black Friday orders. Finally. I think I got lucky where the last couple halfway to Black Friday and Black Friday shipments, they came pretty quickly to me despite just doing like the cheapest form of shipping. It looks like this time I had it like dead last of anything. I mean, it's sort of fine, because I still got other cool stuff at Christmas, like my fiance got me the coveted Dawn of the Dead Region 2, but Region Free 4K box set, showing that off here. Ooh, shiny. But I've been meaning to, or hoping to get this earlier than I did, but I didn't. So I'm just going to open it up, kind of like the same thing I did with the halfway to Black Friday thing and what I did for the Severin thing. Just pull the stuff out, say why I got it, or why I was excited about it, or such and such a deal. You know, all that good stuff. Let's see. This is packed in. Phrasing. Here, get it. Okay. Lots of random tissue paper. And let's see if everything that's supposed to be in here is in here, just to see what it looks like under all of the major bubble wrap. Oh, they're in the little pockets, so I guess we'll take out the individual little pockets first. So, in this corner, we have the new Beastmaster 4K transfer, Don Coscarelli's Sword and Sandals Epic. Looks like I can open this a little bit here. It's got a little magnetized thing, little case in there. I know there was an issue with the Blu-ray, or one of the Blu-rays in there, aside from the 4K and the one that has the movie, where the replicator made it skip, so I know they fixed that before they sent out the second crop, which mine was obviously part of. That's a really cool booklet thing, and even though I'm not a huge fan, this is the slipcover, the normal slipcover under it, I'm not a huge fan of Don Coscarelli, I'm not a big fan of Phantasm, even though I've seen Phantasm at Alamo in the theater as part of their Dismember the Alamo thing. Or that much of a fan of Bubba Hotep, though I do love Bruce Campbell in it. But I don't think I've actually seen the first Beastmaster. I've seen Beastmaster 2, the one where he travels back to the present when the movie was made, because HBO used to have that on forever. But I don't think I've actually seen the first one, so looking forward to that. And then also in that particular packet, there was the Forgotten Jolly box set Volume 2. I don't have Volume 1 just because I'm not a big Jolly fan, but it was part of the Flash pre-order if you got it. And supposedly the 3 movies in here are of more well-known variety, or a higher-end variety, I guess. So, just to say what they are The Girl in Room 2A, The French Sex Murders, and My Dear Killer, which has this pretty funky weapon on the front. So, definitely check those out. I'm not as well versed in Jolly as some other subgenres of horror, or Italian in general, really. But still looking forward to checking those out. Maybe there's of those 3, maybe there's a hidden gem in the midst. Let's see, and then there's packet number 2 here. And let's see, I got The House of the Dead, not the U-Bowl version. I know this is an anthology, so I was pretty interested in it for that reason. I know the alternate title is Alien Zone. I'm not sure why that is. But as far as a horror anthology made in Oklahoma, it seemed kind of interesting, and it was one of the gaps in my collection. You can't really see my collection in the back, but it's grown precipitously. Some of that you can see in my Blu-ray collection tour that I filmed a couple months back, but I've grown it since. So let's see, here we got Old Dracula with David Niven. I saw the trailer for this movie when I went to see the AGFA Horror Trailer Show when it was on Real Film Day at Alamo. This was like 2 weeks before all the theaters shut down for COVID. And I know a Blu-ray of that's coming out in January, and Vinegar Syndrome has its own slipcover for it. But it looked really funny, so I just wanted to grab that one. And then Spellcaster, the VSA title. I'm number 3,264 out of 4,000, apparently, of the numbered variety. Mostly wanted this because it had interesting creature effects, and it's kind of starred Adam Ant, the 80s singer, and I thought that might be interesting. And I heard it compared to Spookies as far as the creature effects are concerned, and I do like the creature effects of the original version of Spookies, Twisted Souls. And then Demonoid, which I know nothing about, really, but it seemed like a fun movie with good gore and creature effects. So, and that was a rather early release of Vinegar Syndromes. And then this twofer, Battle for the Lost Planet and Mutant War. I know Riff Tracks recently did a riff of Battle for the Lost Planet, but I figured, you know, if it's going to be discounted for halfway to Black Friday, or for Black Friday rather, and it's 2 movies instead of just 1, that's an even better deal. And it just kind of seemed interesting as far as a low-budget sci-fi thing. Always a big fan of those. The House on Tombstone Hill, which I know the alternate cover work for this is a lot different, and I know this was a... It's called, like, Dead Dudes in a House, and the alternate cover of this kind of looks like the New Kids on the Block or whatever, and I think this was a Troma pickup originally, and something made me interested in it compared to the very different artwork where this cover art that's on the front right now looks like something like it's Last House on Dead End Drive or something, and then the alternate cover work makes it look like it's House Party 4 or something. So I was very interested to check this out and see which one is more indicative of the film's content. And then Party Line. Party Line, I think, is a low-budget, cheesy, erotic thriller, and I know Good Bad Flicks did a YouTube review of it, and that's what sort of introduced that to me. That and the fact that the slipcover was starting to go out of sale. Much like In the Cold of the Night, which I bought a few months back, these like cheesy late 80s, early 90s erotic thrillers can be really funny, so I wanted to pick this one up when I saw that Good Bad Flicks did a pretty... positive review of it. And then Don't Panic, which is a Spanish horror film. I don't think it's Spanish language, though. It's from the same guy who made Cemetery of Terror, which I wasn't a huge fan of from the October package, but I did buy that one. Heard good things about this one, or at least people were really excited when it was finally announced as one of the Black Friday picks. It was part of the Flash pre-order, so I bought that with this and the next title I'm going to show being sort of a blind, not knowing what they are, but the titles had been reminisced about and kind of sort of not really leaked before, so I kind of knew this and the next one were going to come out. But I was interested in this. I've seen some footage from it and it looks pretty fun with the Ouija or Spirit board to not go on Hasbro's trademark. And one I was super excited about is this Silent Madness, because I actually have a 3D Blu-ray player and a 3D TV, so I can watch this in true 3D as opposed to anaglyph. But I was really excited about when this was finalized as the 3D slasher movie that I can watch in actual 3D. Heard mixed things about the film itself, but you know, any sort of really cool like 80s slasher 3D title, much like the Friday the 13th Part 3 that came out with the new Shout Factory set that I unboxed months ago. It's really cool, so I'm really looking forward to checking that out in actual 3D and seeing how the 3D effects are. And then the last little pocket here, let's see, Blue Ice. Something about this cover, which has a swastika on it, so I don't know what this is about, but I believe this is another erotic thriller. Yeah, there's something about a secret group of escaped Nazis, says the back, and I think that's what sold it me. You know, an erotic thriller about escaped Nazis seems like just cheesy goodness, and something about the title Blue Ice just seems like so generic for it, so wanted to definitely pick that up, so... And then, next one is another twofer, which I think also fits into our erotic thrillers, Murder Weapon and Deadly Embrace. Both with Linnea Quigley, who I met at a horror convention a little bit ago and was super nice, and of course, you know, Return of the Living Dead, Nightmare Sisters, she's sort of a legend in the genres. Yeah, I know they were restored from the... Oh, these are both David DeCoteau films as well. He'd also did Nightmare Sisters. And I know this was shot on 16mm, so it was cool. Another, you know, figure 2-for-1 kind of thing at a discounted price. Why not? And then this is actually the Nightmare Sisters slipcover. I already own the movie on Blue. I bought it at the halfway to Black Friday sale. So when they announced this, it was just like, hey, I'll just pick this up and slip it on the actual Blu-ray, because that's one of their early releases. It doesn't even have alternate reversible artwork. And then this VSA release, Action USA. This, I kind of felt like Vinegar Syndrome was going to put this out when my Alamo Draft House reopened in October. they did play this for a weekend, and when they play like a movie like this at Alamo for like a small weekend engagement, it usually means one of the boutique labels is putting it out on a Blu-ray really soon. And this just looked like over-the-top goodness from the footage I've seen of it, so I was really excited. I didn't get to see it at Alamo. I think I was doing something else. But yeah, really happy that was coming out, and I got number 3,191 of 4,000 on there, so for those who care about what they're numbered. And then another slip. This is the slip cover number 2 for Fade to Black. When you did the Flash pre-order, you got both slip covers, both the one it came with and an alternate. You may or may not be able to see it behind me, but I have the Spookies alternate from when I did the pre-order for last Black Friday. So most of the alternate slips I just kind of put up as like display pieces. So that's probably what I'll do for this one, and I'll keep the native one on the disc proper itself. And this is Witch Trap, which this was a new slipcover that they came out for an older release. Don't know much about this, except I think it also involves satanic cults and all that good stuff. Oh, it's from the director of Night of the Demons, so that'll tell you enough about that. Another Linnea Quigley title. So, yeah, so looking forward to this. Looks like this one is chock full of extras as well, just looking at the back of it, so pretty excited about that. I know people were hoping that this one would have a slipcover as far as their older releases, so I picked that one up. And then Malibu High, which is another older release of theirs that they put a new slipcover on, so I figured I'd pick it up. I know next to nothing about this movie. Like, I watched the trailer and it kind of looked like an R-rated version of that movie Summer School. So I don't know how much of a comedy it is, but it struck me as perhaps like a ribald comedy. So I don't know, not sure, but looking forward to it nonetheless. So. And then one of the other VSA titles, Martial Law. This is another twofer, actually. Martial Law and Martial Law 2. I know Cynthia Rothrock is in both of these. I got number 2,589 out of 4,000, for those who care. I know this is just a martial arts action cheesy goodness from, I think, the 90s? I think this is a 90s release, as opposed to the 80s. And it'll probably tell me on the back. 90 and 91, yes, so very early. I know David Carradine's in it. Rip David Carradine, we all know how he died. Looked like it was pretty loaded with extras as well. So anytime they do a twofer at Vinegar Syndrome, when they put two movies in like one package, kind of like even the horrible Blood Theater Visitants one from the Hobgoblins director. Visitants isn't too bad, but Blood Theater's horrible. You always feel like jumping on them, especially if there's a discount. And then another slipcover, Don't Go Into the Woods. I got this a year ago as a Christmas present, actually, the regular Blu-ray, which is, again, one of their older releases, and they just came out with this brand new slipcover for it, so I figured I'd slip that in there. This movie itself, it's very boring for the first 30 minutes, and then the weird caveman serial killer comes out, and some of the gore is pretty cool there. So if you can get past the boring first half hour, it pays dividends going forward. And then the missing poster for Necromancer, because when I bought Necromancer, they gave me two. I guess that's cool. Because when I bought Necromancer, the poster was missing, and so they said, like, hey, we'll make good, and the next time you do an order from us, we'll give you the poster then. Vinegar Syndrome has the best customer service that way. They always make good on that stuff. And it seems like they gave me two. So one I can put in the disc, and one, I don't know if I'd actually hang up a Necromancer poster, but I have two, so cool. And then Red Mob, which is an action movie that was made in Russia just after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1992. And since I'm totally interested in Soviet history and everything, an action movie that was made right after that is definitely something I'm interested in. It looks like it says it played an important role in post-USSR Russian cinema, so very much looking forward to a movie that's directed by a guy whose name is Vsevolod Plotkin, I think. You know, whenever I see a movie that's starring a bunch of Vladimirs and Dimitris, you know it's from Russia. Yeah, it looks like it has the Russian language with subtitles and an American dubbed version as well, but looking forward to what 1992's Russian Rambo, maybe, is kind of like, so cool. And then last, but certainly not least, is the actual movie Fade to Black with the other slipcover. I know people were waiting for a disc release for this for a while, because it's a very well-regarded higher end than normal slasher movie from the early 80s. And I know In Search of Darkness actually spent like a little bit of time talking about this when they skipped over a lot of other stuff from the 80s, which is why there's doing In Search of Darkness too. So yeah, this is the other slipcover for it as well. And the other slipcover is what the artwork is here, so that works out pretty well too. So I believe, yep, that is everything I bought from the sale. So obviously a lot more things than I bought for the Severin sale. I probably would have bought that movie with Jeff Stryker in it if I knew he was in it beforehand. Long story. So let's see, I'm recording this on January 2nd. So, couple housekeeping notes. I'll probably finalize a top 10 best films of 2020 list and maybe do that next weekend. But I've been gone for the past couple weeks not uploading anything because A, Christmas and everything involving around that, and B, or two, since I'm holding up fingers, I was rear-ended in a car accident and getting all that settled out was, a hassle. But at least that's all done with. So, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed this very quick, for me, unboxing of Vinegar Syndrome, since all of you probably got your packages weeks before I did. But thanks, and have a good one.